Hi fantasy managers and welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my team selection for game week 5. So I'm going to talk about possible transfers, my team selection, how I got on last week and also captaincy. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, please give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime let's jump into it. So on screen is how I got on in game week 4. It wasn't the worst week, it wasn't the best week. There was a lot of good things that happened, there was a lot of disappointing things happen, but ultimately ended up with a very small green arrow of about 100k, moved up to 2.4. So we're only in game week 4. I've not used triple captain, I've not used my wild card, so I'm not too down about it at the moment. I still think there's plenty of time yet to go, and as long as I keep getting green arrows, I'm fairly happy. The one successful thing I suppose that went, apart from Haaland getting the brace and putting the captain's armband on him, which seemed like a no-brainer, I think probably that was the reason why I ended up with a green arrow, because Salah didn't particularly produce anything, which he blanked, and Raya's been absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't normally spend that much on a goalkeeper, but as a safe way into that Arsenal defence, I did go for him, and he's paid me back in spades, so he's been really good. Other than that, Saka got a return. I made 3 transfers with the intention of rolling this week and then wildcarding, so I'd have 2 at the end of the wildcard, and they just did nothing for me whatsoever. Trent didn't return, lost his clean sheet against Forest. Minte and Welbeck both blanked. It was a good decision to go for Welbeck instead of Pedro. That was a doubt about him. And in the end, he picked up a knock, which we didn't know about when he came back to training. So the reason I didn't bring him in was because of worries about him getting back from Brazilian time. That was unfounded, but he didn't make it through other reasons. But ultimately, Welbeck didn't produce anything for me either. Smith Rowe, was that frustrating? He's on a bench with 7. It was either I was going to bench him or Saka. So Eze, Minte and Rodgers were all definitely going to play. And actually, it didn't make any difference between Saka and Smith Rowe. They both got 7. So that really doesn't affect me. I'm not too concerned with that. Rodgers continues to look good and play well, just not getting the returns. I think no intentions of getting rid of him. Mente obviously just brought him in, happy to have him. And Eze, he's just a set and forget. It was frustrating that he didn't take the penalty, but I think it's one of those things. Who knows? Glasner's come out and said that possibly he might take the next one. It's between him and Mateta. We'll just have to wait and see. Nothing out of our hands, but he's still on all set pieces. He's still a good threat. His underlying stats look good. Whether I keep him in a wild card, we'll have to wait and see. But otherwise, that was game week 4. Let's move forward. So, game week 5 then. The side looks, I don't know how to describe it. Obviously, you do have that Arsenal and City fixture where they're playing each other. I feel probably if I'm going to have 4 players, these are the 4 players I would want. I want the penalty takers for both sides, Haaland and Saka. So I think they have to play. And then I've got Vardio and Raya, and I do actually think that this is going to be a very low scoring game. I think both defences are very strong. Arsenal, I think, are just the best defence in the division, so I'm happy to have Raya, and I'm not unhappy I've had Vardio. I do think he'll start. The rest of the side, again, it's a case of who to bench, and if we look, this is how the side I think will eventually line up. I think Trent comes in without a doubt. Vardio, those 4 players from City and Arsenal do play. And then I'm benching Smith Rowe again. Will I learn? At home to Newcastle, I don't want to bench Saka because he's on pens. I think if they do score at Man City, and I'm not saying they will, he's most likely to be involved. Eze at home to Man United, I think that's decent. I don't think it's the end of the world. Munoz is benched because I think Man United, I would back them to score at Palace, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet either. So I think Eze's got to be part of that. Rodgers just continues to play well. Looks like he'll get good minutes as he has all season. And Villa just scoring goals, so surely it's a matter of time before his expected goals involvement actually turns into points. Porro at home to Brentford, I think that's a no-brainer. Isak's a doubt, but we'll wait and see for the press conference. If there is a doubt that he won't start, Smith Rowe will come in, Welbeck stays, Haaland I can't not have, and then I'm going to roll the transfer. Without Salah, I don't feel there's an obvious captaincy. The only one that's obvious you think is Haaland, but I do. That Arsenal defence is just the best in the league, and albeit it's Man City at home, last year they kept them out. I do think Arsenal got a very good chance of keeping a clean sheet in that game, crazy as it sounds. So I don't particularly like Haaland, but if I'm looking for another option, I don't know where else to go. Do I go for Trent? That's the only other one, but it just takes 1 goal and that's it. He's wiped out. But he then relying on attacking returns, and he hasn't had a huge amount of those, even though his underlying stats are good. I'm tempted. I've got a lot of faith in that Arsenal. I'm not an Arsenal fan, by the way. It sounds like I am, but I've got a lot of faith in that Arsenal defence. I just think that's going to be a really tight game. Only one goal in it max. And if I'm right about that, and I have to back myself as you do in FPL, then I've got to look elsewhere. I'm not sure Brighton's fixture against Forest looks all right, but their underlying stats are really good. They just kept a clean sheet at Liverpool, and Brighton have failed to score under Ipswich. So not sure I can really rely on Minte to score goals there. Rodgers hasn't produced anything all season. Eze against the Man United side, I'm not sure with their sort of attacking threat now, Palace, whether they got the amount of goals in them. And Man U won't be an easy game, obviously. Isak slight doubt away to Fulham, not an easy game. Porro possibly, but Brentford, I don't trust that Tottenham defence particularly. And then I'm almost left with the default of Trent. He does have attacking potential, and he has clean sheet potential at home to Bournemouth. So I think I am leaning towards Trent. Let me know if you think I'm mad or not. Who would you pick as captain? That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below who your captain's armband is on for game week 5. In the meantime, we'll come back at you for game week 6 with our wild card, as we are going to be hitting that button. But in the meantime, please help the channel out, hit subscribe, don't forget to like. Good luck with your game week 5, and I shall see you on the other side.